Hey everybody, welcome to Cara's Cucina, YouTube's first and only Emmy-nominated cooking show. I'm Cara Di Falco. I have the perfect spring side dish for you today. We are going to make some delicious garlic greens. This is probably one of the easiest ways to prepare dark leafy greens that everybody can really enjoy. It takes a lot of the bitterness out of the flavor of them, so if you're a little hesitant about trying dark leafy greens, or you are under the impression that you don't like them, you might want to try them in this preparation because, again, it really kind of brings out the brightness of their flavor. Today I'm going to be using rainbow chard, which is also a lot of fun. It's a nice spring vegetable. It's beautiful in color, so of course when your food looks good, it's going to taste better. You really want to enjoy your meal with all of your senses. But this will work with kale, it'll work with spinach, it'll work with regular chard. You can really go to town with this application, and it works well across the board. In the case of a chard or a rainbow chard, the entire piece is edible, so we're going to use the stems as well. If it was a kale, you wouldn't want the woody ends of the stems. So what I'm going to do, really, people will try to sell you things like a kale strip or whatever. Guess what? God gave you the best tools in the world. Kale is stripped, or your chard is stripped. But we are going to chop up these stems as well. So we're just going to get our other leaf here. And really, wherever it breaks off, it's fine. That piece is small enough to go right in. So we're just going to chop our leaves and chop our stems, and then we're going to get our pan over some medium heat. So we have our pan heating over medium heat. We're going to add in some extra virgin olive oil, pretty fair amount. About 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. We're going to add our garlic in. I'm using an oil that I got from my friends over at Magnifico Foods. They're a great website, beautiful imported Italian goods that they will, you can order and they'll deliver direct to your home. If you use the code CARA10, you'll get 10% off your first order. We're also going to add our stems in right away because these take a little longer to cook than the leaves do. I kind of look at them like onions. So we'll let this all cook down for about 2 to 3 minutes. After about 2 to 3 minutes, and you do want to stay here and keep it moving just to make sure your garlic doesn't burn, but you'll see, just like an onion, the stems of the chard will start to soften a little bit, they become opaque, but they still have those bright, beautiful colors. So now we're going to go in with our leaves. If we can see, we have this huge bowl of leaves. It feels like it's so much. This is 2 bunches. By the time we get it in here and cook down, it's going to look like nothing. So just big handfuls, we'll get them in. And we'll kind of work in batches and let this begin to wilt down. After a couple of minutes, you can see our greens have really cooked down. They've significantly shrunk in size. They have that nice bright color to them. They're a lot softer than they were, so they're going to be much easier to chew and digest. And I did just sprinkle them with a little bit of salt once I got the last bit of leaves in there. Again, just to kind of help loosen them up, get some of the liquid out of the leaves. So we can see we have a fair amount of liquid in the bottom of the pan here. And that's fine. It kind of makes a nice sauce for everything. And these are good. We're ready to plate this up. Guys, serve your garlicky greens alongside roasted meats, fish. For holidays, it's a wonderful side dish. Of course, it's certainly very healthy for you. You can drizzle them with a little bit of extra olive oil. If you find that this is still a little bit too bitter of a flavor for your taste, you can always try adding in things like a little bit of balsamic vinegar. That'll help sweeten it up. You could toss in some raisins or craisins as well. You could even toss in some toasted nuts like pine nuts or walnuts. This is a really basic dish, and then you can really expand from there to suit your palate. But of course, a wonderful way to get some of those fresh spring greens onto your plate this season. That is it for this week in the Cucina. Guys, of course, the recipe's at caradifalco.com. You can follow me, Facebook and Instagram at Cara Di Falco. I will see you guys next week. Buon appetito.